Hi, I'm Jamie Glazer, the JG in JG Social Media Solutions. Welcome to this short webinar called You Are Not a Billboard. 5 years ago, I started this company when a wife of a very wonderful musician called me to tell me that she was going to divorce her husband, who I knew very well, because he had spent the mortgage money on Facebook ads. And he had done this for several months, and she was raising the money to pay for their house, and she needed help. She loved him dearly, but this seemed like a giant problem, and it surely was. Unfortunately, that's a giant problem for a lot of people. They spend their money without understanding how Facebook and other platforms work, and they advertise when they should be being social. Now, I help them. And right after helping them to great success, I might add, I began my company. And since then, we handle artists with multiple Grammys, people with over 1 billion views on YouTube, realtors who sell millions and millions of dollars worth of homes, photographers, bloggers, musicians. And not only is that fun for me, but I love to help other people. So today I'd like to talk about the number one mistake that people make on social media when they're trying to promote themselves or a product or a service. And that is, any of my clients will tell you, I say this over and over to them, do not be a billboard. In other words, social media is meant to be social. That means that you need to respond to people, you need to inspire people, you need to entertain people, you need to comment back to people, you need to read their messages in a timely way and respond. Unfortunately, many people don't have time for that. They're trying to run their business, they're trying to compose their song, they're trying to write their blog, they're trying to keep their services going, they're trying to oversee their teams. So that's why I started this company, and my team does all of the things I just mentioned and way more. And very proud of that. For those of you who are new to me, you see the instruments in the back, and that's because I am an appreciative and grateful and successful musician, composer, and producer. Years ago, I learned probably the most important lesson I ever learned from my music teacher, and that was how to be a better performer. Now, it wasn't about playing faster or playing better or playing with other musicians. It was about the importance of the people that I was playing for. My teacher told me, Jamie, when you play, make sure to look in the back of the concert hall, as if you could see the people back there. Now, for anybody who's ever made a speech or performed, you know that generally you can see maybe the first 50 to 100 people when you're on stage because of the lights and the way the room is set up. My teacher told me that people would be more into what I'm doing, would be more supportive, would be more entertained, would have a better experience if I looked at them, if I communicated with them, even though I could not see them. And he was right. One day I found out I was going to play at Carnegie Hall, which is a wonderful, prestigious place, of course. And it was even more of an honor because I grew up in New York. And my father, who was dying of cancer at that point, made the trip to Carnegie Hall with my stepmother. Well, usually when we have guests, they get seated in the front, in the first couple of rows. But at this concert, I couldn't see my father. So I asked my guitar technician, do you know where they put my dad? And he said, yeah, unfortunately they ran out of tickets. The promoter bought all these tickets in the front, so he's in the second balcony. Well, I could barely see the second balcony. Not only that, but he was actually seated behind a pole. So he'd have to go like this to see me. So anyway, I asked my guitar tech if he could point out basically where my dad was. And then I used the lesson my guitar teacher showed me. And that was, I looked up there. And when I did a guitar solo, I looked up and I smiled. And a couple of times during the show, I mouthed, I love you, right? Well, when the show was over, I waited a bit for my father to come down, and he did. And the first thing he said to me was, I love you too. I saw that you said that to me while you were playing. And that experience changed my life because I was already into marketing and I thought, well, that's the point here. This was a giant day for me because I learned something that worked for marketing and for promotion. That the people are what's important, not my product, not my service. The people need to have a challenge met or have their problem taken care of. So instead of going on and saying, well, here's my great new album and you should buy it, I don't do advertisements like that. I tell people why they might benefit from having my music, and my sales are off the hook. So one of the first things I want you to remember, even say out loud when you're driving in the car, walking around, is I am not a billboard. A billboard stands there and advertises right in your face and has really no connection with you. But this is social media. So number one lesson is to not be a billboard, to understand that there are people out there. There are living, breathing people who want to be entertained and inspired and have a service that will help them. This is such a very integral part of having success on social media. Now, if you're a business owner or a musician or whatever you do, it's really, really hard to get on Facebook or any platform 15 times a day and answer messages and comment back to people and post viral posts and put content out there and on and on and on. It's time consuming as heck and it wastes your time. It actually takes away from your success. And realizing that, I started the company. So if you would, if you're in need of help and you're tired of wasting your time, please consider going to my simple landing page, which is www.jg-smedia.com. There are no capture gates there. There are no opt-in forms. You're not going to be promised an ebook in exchange for your email. I don't even want your email. There's a contact form at the bottom. If you're interested in having my assistance with anything you're doing, please fill out the contact form and I or someone from my team will get back to you within 24 hours. Anyway, I thank you for your time and I wish you great success.